Good day, good day, good day, everyone. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. So today I'm going to get right into it. Good day, Shay. It's good to see you from Colorado. Lots of love to you as well. All my Colorado folks, good day. Good day, everyone joining us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and we are streaming on New Thought Media Network. So we are in our Epiphany series, and we started this yesterday. And so let me just share again the definition. In essence, Epiphany is a moment of revelation and intuitive insight. And the origins of the word is a showing forth, a showing forth. And so I want to share a quick story about a epiphany that I had that was married with the 30-day time fast yesterday. So yesterday I had my whole day, planned out. I had one client because this week I said I'm going to be lighter Wednesday through the end of the week because I'm preparing to go out of town next week with Aria. So I said I'm going to keep it light. So I just had my one client yesterday after a couple of 12:30 yesterday after SIP. And so I was doing some things, and then I get a text message that says, your reservation is confirmed for 2 p.m. with 5 other people. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm thinking it's like a hack, it's like it's spam or something. So I see the person who sent it, Stephanie. We used to work together a long time ago, and now she's one of my friends. And I call her, and she's like, hey, la, 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 and I'll see you later. So I'm like, what is this, right? So she said, you didn't get the email. We sent an email a month ago that we were all going to get together for lunch today. And I was just sending everybody the confirmation for 2:00 today. So in my mind, I'm like, that ain't part of my plan today, right? I have my inflow and my outflow is all mapped out for today, and it does not include lunch at 2:00 in Harlem. It does not include that. So immediately I'm just like in my head, get ready to tell her, no, girl, I can't do that today. So, well, I could, but I had other things that I needed to do. So as soon as I was getting ready to open my mouth and say that, girl, I got to catch you the next time, I get a text message from my client saying she has to cancel. So I'm like, really, God? Really? So immediately, instead of saying, no, girl, I can't do it, I said, okay, I'll see you later. Right? And I get off the phone with her. I get myself together real quick because my other plan was to go to my aunt's house. So I said I could go to my aunt's house before I meet them in Harlem. And I'm, saying all this stuff. And I realized it's already 1:00. So no, I cannot go to my aunt's house and then go to Harlem. Right. So, because I checked in, I said, is this a reasonable plan that I'm about to engage myself in? And the answer was no, that is not reasonable. And I said, but I'm making unreasonable requests. I'm doing things that are unreasonable. They said, that's not going to work. You're going to stress yourself out. I said, okay, we're not stressing ourselves out. So we could do that another way. Fine, right? So I get to Harlem. It was horrible trying to find some place to park. I parked someplace that I'm not supposed to park by a school. I put my minister's placard on my rear view mirror. I say a prayer that I won't get a ticket, and I go to the restaurant. So it was me and about 5 or 6 other women. And that's when I had this epiphany. We were sitting around the table and we were talking. And in that moment, I felt an overwhelming feeling of gratitude and of agency, of gratitude and of agency. So I want to share this picture of the women. So these women in the picture here are women that I would say I grew up with. I grew up, they're like my mentors when I was in the nonprofit world. So all of these women here are in their 70s and one is in their, there could be two who are in their 80s. So we're talking about like a 30 year gap between me and them. And so they have known me since I was in my 20s, 30s, right? And have played a significant part in my professional development and were inspirations to me because they were all bosses. They were all CEOs. They were like doing the thing. And the one on the end with the brown on, that's Stephanie. And she was my boss at New York City Mission Society. And we've known each other for many, many, many moons, all of them. And so we're sitting there, they're all retired. They're all retired. And one of them is asking me about like what I'm doing now. And I'm sharing what I'm doing and I'm looking at their faces because they're like, because their mindset is you get a job, you work that job for 40 years and you retire, right? So one of them said to me, so you're already retired. Based on what I was sharing with them about my life, right? So I'm sitting there, and the epiphany was not so much that, yes, I'm retired now. I'm not retired now, right? But I got where her point was. Her point was that now I'm doing exactly what I want and love to do. And they had to wait for the most part to do what they really want to do and love to do after they retired. So they loved their work. They were the bomb, right? But there was there were aspects of their lives that they could not fully engage in until they retired. And I was like, wow, I'm fully engaged in what I love right now. Like there's no delaying it. There's no denying it. There's no delaying it. So I'm like feeling good. So we had a wonderful, wonderful time. I'm so glad that I went because I also got to give them their flowers while they could receive them to tell them how much they mean to me and to get a good, juicy hug because you just never know, right? One of our dear friends that's part of this nonprofit circle was Darwin Davis, who was like, he was so important to me. And we were to have dinner and, like, on a Tuesday, a group of us were getting together to have dinner, and he passed away the Saturday before we were to have dinner. And I said to myself, "I'm never gonna do that again." When my mind says, "Go," go, because we just don't know, and it doesn't have to be an age thing. Things just happen unexpectedly. So I was just grateful my client canceled. That's not a coincidence. And I went and I had the time to go. And because I am the source of time, I sat down when I got home last night and I just remapped. I just remapped everything that I was going to do yesterday over these next 2 days. And I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. It just lines up perfectly. There is a flow, and I feel no stress about it, right? So last night, while I was doing that, I found this document that I wrote up July 28th, 2018. So this was just like, the universe, God loves to like just put like a little exclamation point on things for us sometimes. So I'm looking for something else and I find this document. So I wrote this in 2018 when I was still in nonprofit, still had a full-time job, still doing all of those things, not doing what I am doing now at all. This is what I wrote, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. In 5 years, so I wrote this in 2018, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. In 5 years, that would be 2023, last year. But I wrote this in 2018. In my work, I am working with people to support them in accessing joy in their lives. I experience freedom. I create my day the way I want it to be. I am my own boss. I am creating and officiating ceremonies and celebrations of joy. I work as a spiritual life coach and I am in joy. I am speaking on a book I have written. So that's just one part that I wrote, right? I have it for my work, for my health, for my relationships. So different areas of my life. And this is what I do when I work with people in spiritual life coaching. Let's work on a plan, a vision. I call it my life vision, right? Those things that I just mentioned to you, and there's more, I am doing. The only thing that has not come to fruition yet is I am speaking on a book I have written. So I'm writing my book. I've been writing it for a very long time, but now I'm like in it. And although I wrote this in 2018, that in 5 years, this is what my life vision is. This happened. This started to reveal itself in 2020 during COVID. All of these things that I am experiencing freedom, right? I wind up being in 2 jobs that I hated. One lasted 9 months. The second one lasted 3 weeks, 3 weeks. And I was like, I'm out of here because it wasn't in alignment with my life vision, right? So it was like a epiphany day for me, right? And that's another reason why I love to write things down, to speak it into existence and to write it into existence, right? So it was a glorious day, Linda. Yes, a magnificent manifestation that has happened sooner than I thought. The time I thought it would take would be 5 years from 2018. But it didn't. It took 2 years for all of those things to come into play because it's like that quote. All right, y'all. All right. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, right? So we cannot hesitate. We cannot hesitate because when we are committed, divine providence moves. Divine guidance makes a way. Yes. So we are bold because boldness has genius in it. All of these things that we've been talking about these last couple of weeks, right? So I wanted to share that as an example of the 30-day time fast and how being aware and present and in the flow with the energy and the current of time is a powerful state of being, and how these epiphanies can just come. And that sometimes the epiphany um, demonstrates to us where we were and where we are, and what a journey that has been, day by day by day. So, yesterday, I shared another personal story about epiphany that I had, and y'all were very excited about that. And so I'm going to bring on Sekou because we're going to continue our epiphany and money stories. And I think Sekou, hey Sekou.
Hey, Rev Mel. You know,
Yes.
Now I have to go back to what you just were just talking about.
Okay.
I got to.
Okay.
So what's interesting to me is that you wrote it down. Now that should not be interesting because I know you write things down, but this was a specific example of you writing it down, and you finding it. Like I've gotten stuck in writing things down and then finding them again. And what I just did yesterday is B King has been going on and on about Arlen Harris. Arlen Harris. She's been going
Love
on.
Arlen. Love Arlen.
Yo, mind you, I discovered Arlen first. And I was like, yeah, this lady, she did a little something. But when B got it, she's like, what? And her energy brought her back to me, brought it back to life for me. So I have gotten involved in Arlen. I was watching this video, and I was like, in this video, she's gonna give us steps, like 3 steps in this short video. I was like, nah. I watched the video and I watched it again. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try this. And what I did for the first time was I wrote a headline. Because that's what she said. Write a headline about where you want to be in 5 years. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I did it, and I was like, where did that come from? like the download was so short and powerful that I didn't even know where it came from. I did that, and so that reminds me of you talking about like you writing it out all these years, writing it out and forgetting it, just setting it in motion. You've got to align the things, the things in your path. You've got to align these things that are drawing your future out of you. Like you got to align them, because if actually you wrote that and forgot about it, like that's crazy to me.
So let me clarify.
Okay.
I didn't forget about it, like, because one of the things that I do, so what I didn't have was this piece of paper, right? Okay. I found this piece of paper. What I did, so I wrote this 2018, right? And then my practice became, I would do what I'm focusing on for that year based on what I wrote for my 5 years, right? So I would have a quality. These are the things that I've shared with you all on SIP. Right. I would choose a quality. I would choose my theme for the year, right? Same thing as a headline, right? Mm-hmm. So when I would say, if you were to give this year a title, like a movie title, what would it be? That's my headline. Yes. So I would create my theme for the year. My theme this year is I soar in 2024, right? I would have my quality. I have my surrender, soar, consistency, and structure. Those are my qualities. And then I would write out my experience that I am attracting that are in alignment with my qualities. All of this relates back to what I wrote in 2020 and 2018, right? So we can't forget it. We can't write it down and then forget it. We got to give it energy, right? Okay. So that's so important, right? So I imagine it. I shared the story of where I wanted to go to grad school, right? In Santa Monica. I wrote it down. I got the acceptance letter in the mail. I wrote down, all of the things, right? And I would read it every day. I would imagine myself at the school, graduating, all the things. Right. And so that's what I do. Like, this is part of my spiritual practice that I do. We have to feed into our lives. We can't write it and then forget it.
Okay. I'm glad you made that correction. Because for those of us that aren't on your level, Rev Mel, you got to give us some training steps. And so what I like is, if you can't write it out all the way, at least write a headline. At least write a headline and read that headline every day and get
Every
some
day
energy
throughout the day. Every day throughout the day. Just
out
the
the day.
headline. Right. Because your
Okay.
headline is what? Your affirmation. You're affirming.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? You are
yeah.
affirming. And as you're affirming, you are attracting. And
I
as
say,
you are attracting, you are being that which you attract.
I say, I say. That's good. That's good. Wow, I'm glad we had that whole sidebar.
so so this like I'm so glad I found this. So it's like, I have like how much money I want to make. I have like the type of people I want to be around.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I gotta say what's up to Fee King because he's
Uh,
asking a question. So those steps are powerful. Write that headline. Speak those who think this is too much work, too much time, too much effort. So I just wanted to make it clear, in case you missed it, Fee. In case you missed it, Fee, I was just talking about me being drawn to your mentor, Arlen. And so what I've done is I've done her work of writing an a headline, just a headline, just a headline, just a short thing. That's it. That's it.
yeah, I think what Fee is saying here is like speak to the people who think this is too much work to
Oh,
do
okay,
this. It
okay.
takes too much time. It takes too much effort,
Mm,
right? You want to speak to
okay.
that, Seiko?
No, you go ahead and speak that.
So I like what Bonnie put right here. Bonnie said, what you think about, you bring about.
I said,
That's
yeah,
the answer,
that's it.
right? So if you think it's too much time, it's too much work, it's too much effort,
Mm,
then that's the story you're telling yourself. And so you're saying to yourself, yeah, my life, the value that I'm putting on my life, real talk, y'all, the value that I'm putting on my life is too much time, too much effort, right? But yet we can sit down and binge watch something on TV for 4 hours. And yet we
ooh.
can we could do a whole bunch of things that
Right,
take time,
right,
right?
right.
And yet we won't put that time and effort and energy into the life that we say we want to experience. Because remember, what you truly believe is outpictured by what you actually do. Your belief and your behaviors are
Mm. Ooh, your
connected,
belief in your behaviors. Ooh, that's real. That's real.
right?
Yeah, that's
And that's
real.
no shade, y'all.
Yeah.
If you want to shift, look at your behaviors, right? It will tell you what limiting beliefs are running the show. What is the programming? What is the conditioning? When we start to believe it takes too much time, it's too much effort, right? That's really saying something about how we see ourselves. I am not worthy. I am not enough. I have scarcity mindset running the show because it's too much time, it's too much effort, right? So we get a chance to transform that into what is true. Because what Bonnie wrote is the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth. What you think about, you bring about. And it is our thinking, our believing, our knowing, our saying, our activities, what we study, what we have interest in. It's all of those things
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to say what I'm thinking. Say what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking though is the what do you say the what's the, what you know what
Beliefs and behaviors.
beliefs and behaviors. The you can have the beliefs, but the behaviors. Woo, you got to work at those behaviors. You got to work at them. Because I'm thinking right now about about funds. Right. Here's my quick story.
Mhm.
Like I've been doing DoorDash. Been doing DoorDash when I first had a stroke. Like, well, not first had a stroke because I had to recover, but I recovered enough that I started doing DoorDash, and I was like, I don't know, this is not working for me. But I was trying to keep doing it, keep giving DoorDash, and I was like, and it took me a long time before I accepted, like, nah, this ain't getting it, because I was doing DoorDash before the stroke. I was doing it
Mhm.
like that, right? And now it's taking me a long time to catch up, that my behavior to catch up with my belief, and for me to stop doing DoorDash and look for higher level income,
Mm. Mm.
higher level.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I get.
I love that, Sekou.
Come on.
And I want to circle back to Fee, the too much and too much time. So it doesn't take a lot of time.
Mm.
It does not. So in a practical way, when you are doing your spiritual practice every single day, right? You are going within intentionally every single day, right? You are building that muscle within yourself of communication, right? From within. So when we sit down and we imagine the life that we desire, right? We're tapping in, and then we're just writing or speaking what it is that's coming forth without judging it, because it could seem like the most outrageous thing, right?
Mm.
It seemed to me a little outrageous when I was in nonprofit working 9 to 9. It wasn't no 9 to 5, working 9 to 9, making
Yeah.
money, having good benefits, all of
Right.
the things,
Right. Right.
stressed to the tilt. Like I would
Right.
tell Sekou sometimes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Stressed out. Hardly any time for my girls, right? I couldn't imagine at that time a world where I would not have a steady paycheck
Mm.
with benefits.
Hmm.
Like that was just like, girl, are you gonna hit lotto? Like it was like that.
Right.
But there was something within me, right? That had faith and trust and said, let's just see what happens.
Mm. Let's just
Let's
see what
just
happens.
see what happens.
Let's just see what happens.
And that's what faith is, and trust. And then the universe, divine providence, right? That divine providence that moves mountains. When one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves also, right? So I said what I desire, what I know is my life path. I know this. I've known it for years, right? My
Mm.
yes, my connection to my yes. And I had sprinkles of it in all of the jobs that I had in human resources. The parts that I loved the most about human resources was coaching people,
Mm.
coaching the managers,
Mm.
speaking, counseling people, right?
Mm.
Which
Mm.
would drive the managers crazy because they would be like, no, we just need to fire them. And I was like, no, 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 no. Let's let's sit down, let's have a conversation, let's see what's going on, all the things, let's make a plan, you know?
Yeah.
So those aspects, those gifts were present. And for those of you who are working jobs, look for the gifts in the jobs that you're working, the gifts that you're giving to your jobs, the things that you love to do. See if any of that is present there. And if it's not, is it possible to make it present there? Right? To be unreasonable, right? And oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought. I did too many sidebars. I did too many
Yeah.
sidebars.
We've
But
been
my
on some
point,
sidebars today.
huh?
We've been on some sidebars today.
I know. It's not an Epiphany day. And look, the Epiphany is 31 after. So we have run out of time. But this is my last point. You are important. Make the time for yourself. Because guess what? No one else is. No one else is. So sit down. We've been talking about this for every single sip. Everyone has their quality, right? You chose your quality. You created affirmations based on your quality. You have your theme for the year. You have written out a list of the experiences that you are desiring to attract based on that quality, and you are speaking it every day. And you are writing out your affirmations. You picked a number. Is this coming back to anybody? You picked a number. I'm going to write my affirmations these many times every day. So if it was 3, I am soaring, I am soaring, I am soaring, in the morning and in the evening. You're reading it before you go to bed. You're setting a bedtime intention, right? That is this. But instead of it being a 5-year, right, it is a daily practice. And that is what Morning Sip is, spirit and practice. It is a daily practice. Journey, right? We're all about the journey. The journey is the origin of the word journey means daily, day. So this is, we are on a journey every day. Today is a journey. Today is a journey. So what are you doing? How are you being with yourself? How are you using your time, right? That you are the source of. So when people say to me, Fee, oh, that just sounds like so much work. How much time is that going to take? Well, you are the source of time. So you get to decide. And I'm just using it as an example. I am the source of time, and I'm going to use my time binge watching. I am the source of time, and I'm going to spend my time creating the life that I desire to experience today. The choice is up to us. It's up to you.
Ashe.
So I hope that sparked an epiphany in someone today.
I don't know. Talk to me.
Because we are way over time.
Yes,
Say, cool, are we going to continue this tomorrow?
Yep. We might as
All
well
right.
keep
All
going.
right.
Keep it going.
Part 3 tomorrow.
Part
We
3.
see what flows through. We'll
Let's
see
see what
what
happens.
flies through. Thank you, Sekou. I don't have time for anything else today. But I just thank you for your presence and your presence. I thank you so much. Good day, everybody. I'll read the comments and respond to some of them that if there are any questions, I'll respond in the comments. I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, right where you're watching me now. Peace and blessings, peace and justice. We are living life in joy. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes.